Welcome to the Rugby Obsession Deep Dive.
Great to be here.
And hey, if you enjoy these kinds of insights into rugby, make sure you subscribe to Rugby Obsession. You won't want to miss out.
Definitely worth doing.
So today we're diving into something pretty special. It's that connection, between rugby history, iconic figures, and those moments that just stick with you.
Yeah, the ones that really resonate.
Exactly. And our starting point is Nelson Mandela's connection with the Springboks, but also looking at some, unforgettable Rugby World Cup moments that followed.
It's fascinating stuff. We've got some great source material focusing on his support back then and, the lasting impact of those key World Cup wins.
Our mission, really, is to try and unpack why these moments mean so much. Why do they stick?
It's a great question because sport, especially rugby in this context, it can get woven so deeply into a nation's story, can't it?
It really can. So let's jump right back to 1995, that World Cup.
A huge moment.
The final against New Zealand. Joel Stransky's drop kick. Extra time. 15-12. I mean, just saying, it brings it back.
Oh, absolutely. A nail-biter.
Yeah.
But it was more than just the score, wasn't it?
Way more. What do you think made that win so incredibly powerful? Beyond the drama on the field, I mean.
Well, I think fundamentally it was the symbolism. You had Nelson Mandela, this global icon of, reconciliation and freedom, actively embracing the Springboks, a team and a sport that, let's be honest, had historically been linked with the old divisions.
Right. That was huge.
Seeing him there, wearing that specific green and gold jersey, the number 6, it just sent this incredibly powerful message, unity, a new beginning.
Yeah. It wasn't just for South Africa either, was it? The whole world was watching.
Exactly. It was this visual statement, a new South Africa stepping onto the world stage.
And then Francois Pienaar, after lifting the Webb Ellis Cup, his words.
Oh, iconic.
We didn't have 60,000 South Africans. We had 43 million South Africans. Just, wow. It perfectly summed up that feeling, didn't it?
It really did. It captured that unifying force of the victory. You felt it.
And that image, Mandela in the Bok jersey, the cricket cap standing with Pienaar, it's timeless. Our sources call it one of sport's most iconic moments, and you can't argue with that.
No, you really can't. It was often called Madiba Magic, and for that tournament, well, the Springboks were undefeated. It's hard to capture the sheer emotional weight of it all.
It really is.
And that's the key, I think, that emotional connection. It lifts these moments beyond just a game. Mandela's presence, his actions. It wasn't just supporting a team.
No.
It felt like a deliberate act of, nation building, using sport to try and bridge those huge divides, fostering a shared identity.
Powerful stuff. Okay, so let's fast forward a bit. That spirit, that pressure, that brilliance, it pops up again, doesn't it? Especially in those clutch kicking moments.
Oh, definitely. The pressure is immense.
We've got material looking at Handré Pollard's kick in the 2023 semi against England, described as maybe the best strike of his career.
Under immense pressure, yeah.
And compare that maybe to Franz Stein in the 2007 final. Also against England, he was only 20.
Incredible, wasn't it? That 48-meter penalty.
Gave the Boks that 15-6 lead. England never really got back into it after that. What stands out for you comparing those kinds of kicks?
Well, it's the sheer mental strength, isn't it?
Yeah.
To execute a skill like that perfectly in a knockout World Cup game with millions watching against a major rival like England. Stein's kick in 07, like you said, it basically sealed the deal, put them 2 scores clear.
Right. Game changer.
And Pollard's kick in 23, commentators noted his technique, his focus, holding his nerve in that absolute pressure cooker moment. It's not just physical skill. It's about handling that psychological battle.
Absolutely. And that's why we remember them, isn't it? That tension, then the release or the agony, depending on who you support.
So,
speaking of resilience under pressure, that brings us to the defense. The Springboks are renowned for it.
oh, absolutely. It's part of their DNA, you could say.
And the sources highlight Peter Steph du Toit in the 2023 final against the All Blacks. 28 tackles. To say that number again, 28.
It's staggering.
Yeah.
It really is, especially when you put it in context.
Which is?
The previous record for tackles in a World Cup final was, I think, 18, held by Richie McCaw back in 2011.
Wow. So du Toit smashed that.
Smashed it.
Right.
It just shows an unbelievable level of individual effort, commitment, work rate, whatever you want to call it. Phenomenal.
And it wasn't just him, was it? The team effort.
No, exactly. The whole team. They made, 208 tackles collectively in that final?
Yeah, 208. That's the most ever in a World Cup knockout match, apparently.
It just exemplifies that.
Yeah.
That fighting spirit, That refusal to give in, that
Yeah.
collective grit we often associate with the blocks.
It really does. It's that blend, isn't it? Moments of individual brilliance, like those kicks or Du Toit's tackling, combined with this incredible collective will.
That defines those winning eras, yeah.
Okay, quick pause here. If you're finding this deep dive into rugby history as fascinating as we are, maybe take a second now to subscribe to Rugby Obsession. We've got lots more content like this planned.
Definitely do that.
Right. Now, this brings us directly to you, our listener. We'd love to bring your voice into this.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's your most vivid, your best Nelson Mandela memory connected to sport? Doesn't have to be rugby, but given our chat today.
It would be fantastic to hear those personal connections. I'm sure many people have really powerful memories linked to Mandela in sport. His influence was just immense.
It really was. So how can you share it? Well, you can leave a comment right here, wherever you're listening, or you can send us a WhatsApp. The number is 06001100211. Let me repeat that. 06001100211.
We're genuinely keen to hear what you think.
Definitely. And of course, other ways to stay connected. You can subscribe to the South African website's newsletters, follow them on WhatsApp, Facebook, X, even Bluesky. Lots of ways to keep up.
Hearing from you, the listeners, it adds such a valuable layer to these discussions. It shows the personal impact these big historical moments actually have.
So true. Okay, let's try and pull some threads together. What does all this mean when we step back?
Wow.
We've seen how a sporting moment, like 1995, can really transcend the game, embodied by Mandela's incredible support.
Yeah, that's the starting point. But the legacy continues, doesn't it?
It does. Through those moments of, individual brilliance, like the clutch kicks and that collective grit, like the defense in 2023, it seems to be a recurring theme.
It does. And maybe this raises a bigger question for you, the listener, to think about.
Go on.
How do these specific moments in sport, the ones featuring iconic figures, the incredible achievements, the high drama, how do they actually help shape our collective memory, our sense of maybe national identity?
That's a great question. How does sport weave itself into who we feel we are collectively?
It's a really interesting thing to mull over, I think.
We definitely encourage you to share your thoughts on that question, too. Use the comment section or the WhatsApp number.
Please do.
And one last time, for more deep dives into the amazing world of rugby, make sure you subscribe to Rugby Obsession.
There's always more to explore, always another angle. Thanks for joining us on this exploration.
Thank you for listening to the Rugby Obsession Deep Dive. We look forward to you listening to our next episode.